If it would be one that I would highlight, it would be trust. Building trust with society at large. At Takeda, we have this built into what we call Takedaism. We operate in a value framework of patient, trust, reputation, and business, and always in that order of PTRB. The pandemic has taught us many things. One of them is the importance of partnerships across many different stakeholders. Those were very much needed and have been the key to many of the solutions in response to the pandemic challenge. Trust has been the key factor in establishing these partnerships. For rare diseases, I believe it's important to continue to recognize this as a public health priority. From there, we can build a lot of partnerships across the patient journey and medicine's life cycle to address the unmet needs of patients. For rare diseases, this means, for example, reducing time to diagnosis. It takes on average still more than 5 years to receive a diagnosis, up to receiving access to treatment for those 95% of patients that don't have a treatment today. One of the key recommendations of this study has been about the role of partnerships. To address the unmet need of the 95% of rare disease patients without treatment today, the study recommends to go beyond the incentives included in the EU Orphan Drug Regulation, and therefore create partnerships across the medicine's life cycle. Partnerships by nature are more complex than the incentives included in the EU framework. These incentives are bilateral in nature, whereas partnerships involve many stakeholders with different agendas. But by creating common solutions, they can create more effective solutions to address the remaining barriers. The study has identified 6 partnership-type solutions across the medicine life cycle. One example, early in the life cycle, is the role of public-private partnerships to address the barrier of basic research funding. Another example, further down the life cycle, is the role of value-based partnerships, and more specifically value-based contracts that allow for wide and fast access to treatment for patients. I believe EUCOPE has built trust and therefore credibility by building several partnerships, co-creating solutions with other stakeholders. 3 examples are, firstly, European Expert Group on Orphan Drug Incentives, in light of the ongoing review of the EU Orphan Drug Regulation. Secondly, Real-world evidence for decisions, which aims to increase trust in the use of real-world evidence as a way to facilitate earlier patient access. And last but not least, the recently launched partnership called Together for Rare Diseases that focuses on how to further strengthen and unlock the value of the European reference networks. EUCOPE plays a central role in all of these partnerships and hereby raises the voice of the small and medium-sized innovative biopharmaceutical companies across Europe.